Hello, here are some comments for my friends who are learning English about the story The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. This video is for students who are studying literature as a way of learning English, which is why I'm speaking a little slowly. The Lottery is a well-known story in the United States. I studied it years ago when I was in school. The story takes place in New England. This was the first part of the United States to be settled by Europeans hundreds of years ago. The people who came there from the Old World wanted to be left alone. They wanted to make their own decisions about how to live. Most came because they had very strong ideas about their religion, and they left places in Europe where the government was trying to make them change their religious ideas. There are big cities in New England, but there are also small towns in New England. Some have only a few hundred residents, with farms all around. New England towns often have a square in the middle of town. This is like a park or an open area, and it is usually near stores and government offices. It's called a town square, even though sometimes it is not exactly square in shape. This is a picture of a town square in a small town in New England. Maybe you can imagine the people in the lottery meeting in a place like this. Many small towns in New England have a kind of government called a town meeting. Everyone who lives in the town can attend the meeting. Everyone who is over the age of 18 can vote and make decisions for the town right there during the meeting. This is maybe what a town meeting would have looked like many years ago. And here is a picture of a town meeting today. The story The Lottery may have been partially based on something called the Salem witch trials. These happened over 300 years ago in the town of Salem, Massachusetts. At that time, the church ran everything. There was no difference between the church and the government. The church was very stubborn about its rules. 20 women were put to death after they were accused of being witches. That means that people thought they did evil things with magic. We now know that the women were not witches. Everyone now agrees that the rules used to find them guilty were wrong. But the people in the town were scared, and no one would speak up to say that they were being unfair. It was only after the women were dead that others started to come forward and began to say that the decisions were wrong. The Salem witch trials are remembered in America today with shame. It's important for you to know that the lottery, as we read about it in this story, does not really happen. Maybe once, thousands of years ago, there were beliefs like this among very primitive people, but not today and not for a long time. The author, Shirley Jackson, told the story this way because she wanted to make a point. She wanted you to understand that the tradition of putting people to death was wrong. But even more than that, I think she wanted you to conclude that it is wrong to obey unfair rules without questioning them. I think that she wanted you to think that we must always try to make our culture better and to improve the lives of everyone. And sometimes that means changing the way we've always done things.